Next up, we got a GDI versus Nod matchup on Quarry with Unvaccinated playing as the gold GDI player and rootbie playing as the blue Nod player. We got Unvaccinated spawning in the top left and rootbie spawning on the bottom right. Unvaccinated has gone for an unconventional Conyard move on Quarry. Most people deploy in the original starting spot. Not sure if that was intentional. rootbie meanwhile going for the standard power plant racks. Let's see how this plays out. Most GDI players prefer on this map when they're against Nod to spawn on the bottom right to take advantage of the bottom eco crawl. I suspect in this one Unvaccinated will probably crawl along the sides instead of going up towards the top field, but we will see how it plays out. We see the first ref down for rootbie and the first ref down for Unvaccinated. The Conyard move having totally knocked off the positioning of this first ref, even with the power plant here. But we'll see, this might have been intentional. New type of crawl from Unvaccinated. So we see two refs, and we see two refs. In terms of vision, Unvaccinated has a lot of static units in the field. rootbie, somewhat similar. He's got flamers in key positions.
Unit ready.
We're seeing 3 ref coming down for both players, and it looks like Unvaccinated with 3 ref in the back is going to go for a 4th ref here and possibly do a 2 War Factory all-in style play. This is a style used by some players, not necessarily the best. Opted to sell his back ref is a bad idea in my opinion. The reasoning why you don't really want multiple harves per ref is that the harv AI in this game is dog shit to say the least. So when you have multiple harves you then end up with this glitchy behavior where this is waiting to dock. In it goes. Alright, so rootbie up to 3 ref. He's got the strip down. A lot of infantry on the field doing nothing here from Unvaccinated. Would like to see these on the move. rootbie meanwhile has a strip down. Yeah, he's gotten a couple. He's going for an early bike. Perhaps wants to try and skip past all the infantry, see what's going on behind closed doors. A very forward War Factory from Unvaccinated. I would definitely advise GDI players not to put their War Factory in such a forward positioning. See a couple power plants coming up from Unvaccinated back here. Looks like he's not planning to really expand outwards, which is a bit of an unorthodox decision. Probably getting a second War Factory, massing tanks and going all in as suggested earlier, but we'll see. Looks like he is crawling outwards. If he's doing this, I don't know why he put a second power plant back here. It's a very weird decision. Meanwhile, rootbie, kind of a more standard crawl. He's gotten up to his 5th ref. Whereas rootbie still chilling on 3 ref 4 harvesters. And this guy force firing. rootbie's opened with just pure bikes, which is a weird call. Maybe he's suspecting the mass medium tanks coming out here from Unvaccinated. In come the bikes. Not going to do a very good job against the infantry. They need to be paired with an Apache to do effective work here. Apache will be great. Apache will be absolutely fantastic for rootbie here because you can see all this infantry and you can just get it for free. Still only 1 War Factory down. Unvaccinated has now gone 2 ref here. These refs are giving me an aneurysm, their placement. Why would you open up with 4 ref back here, sell 1, and then get 2 refs here, and then start to crawl this way? Meanwhile, rootbie more traditional. He's gone 3 ref, 4, 5, 6 ref. Bit of an engagement here. rootbie's going to immediately get this ref as soon as it's more or less gone down. Which is fair enough. rootbie gonna pull back, having only got bikes here. Again, if you're going mass bikes, Apache is more or less a must with them, or at least a couple of buggies to deal with infantry. And we can see here, rootbie now up to the 2nd strip. He's in a happy position. He's going to take the top right crawl. So his crawl is way ahead of Unvaccinated here because Unvaccinated opted for the weird 3 ref in the back. What are we seeing? What are we seeing? Seeing 1 ref here from rootbie. This could be higher up. Seeing little attack force here, little attack force here. It's going to go for the halves here. Meanwhile, Unvaccinated putting his tanks in the position of here, potentially intending to go towards the top right. Meanwhile, the crawl down the bottom left is being shut off by these bikes. Likely rootbie, get out of there if you're not going to hit the halve. Seeing the engagement coming up here from Unvaccinated. Rootbie in the meantime just been hoarding units for this 2 strip. Unvaccinated still only has the 1 war factory, so his tank production is quite slow at the moment. And he has the second one just recently down over here. Okay. He needs to focus fire the bikes here with his medium tanks. Okay, he's pulling back. These tanks could have taken on these buggies, but not the bikes. Okay, so he's now taking all of his forces from here and bringing them down towards the bottom. He is giving rootbie a bit of a hard time. Units just staying still now. These are going to get the half for free. No, he's going to let it live. Okay. Send the bikes down the bottom to deal with the medium tanks. But look at the kill count. Unvaccinated is actually doing a relatively good job here. Somehow. I feel like both of them are not playing to the best of their abilities by far. Rootbie opting for 3 ref from the top right, for example, is a weird choice. We're seeing a handful of flamers here. Like, just spending 1,000 on flamers like this is quite an investment. Unvaccinated now looking to come in down through the middle. It's a bit different. He's kind of stopped his crawl a little bit here. Same for rootbie, although rootbie has some silos starting to move towards the top mid. Flamers there doing a good exchange. A lot of bikes to rootbie. Hell of a lot of bikes to deal with these medium tanks. Also attacking down the bottom at the same time. Got 1 ref. Possibly going to get a second one here. This army's done. Way too much spent on flamers here from rootbie. That's like 3,000 worth of flamers. What are you going to use it for? You only need like 1 or 2 flamers to cover these chokes. A lot of medium tanks here now again, once again from Unvaccinated, so he's going to go out for another push, which is forcing rootbie, I guess, to do the mass spikes. We're seeing a ref finally going up for rootbie towards the middle center, but it's going to be shut down immediately by Unvaccinated. That's unfortunate. Unvaccinated still applying some pressure down towards the bottom here. Opting to go for the strip. I'd maybe focus on the hundreds of bikes in between you and the strip first. These guys doing a decent job pushing back the crawl. He's keeping rootbie busy, I'll say that much. I'm seeing a handful of flamers here now. These should come in and get the war factory if nothing else. Flamers here gonna die to Tib. And we are seeing the MCV cell just now from Unvaccinated. Quite a ballsy move. He's given up totally on expansion at this point. He's going to hope that that cash gives him enough of an edge to pressure into his opponent, but I don't know if it will. He's going to come in here from the bottom and take out this 1 strip. Don't think rootbie can hold this. Would want to get like at least one flamer from here to deal with all the Grens maybe. And the turrets for the tanks, but nah, it's gone. Oof. Still got a bunch of tanks sitting back here, and a whole force here is going to now push in once again to get this ref. Rootbie just not being able to get that proper mid expansion going. Alright. Unvaccinated, taking good control of this section of the map. Would want to bring these tanks back and let the Grens come up and deal with all the bikes. I think Rootbie's unit composition is a bit all over the place here. He's feeling pressured to go mass bikes, and then he just ends up getting destroyed by all the Grens mixed in. He wants, like I said earlier, the earlier Apache would have been nice to mix in with the bikes, or just get a couple of flamers up and mix it in with your composition. But yeah, he's now totally taken out that. Because there are 3 halves here, this top right section is now mined out. So Rootbie's actually mined out all of his eco. And he's also got 3 harvesters locked in up here, which is funny considering that Unvaccinated was the one with 3 hit rests back here, and his harves are fine, just because to show how broken the harv AI in this game is. So that's really unfortunate for Rootbie. He has seen it though and fixed it, but it might be too little too late. All of his harves seem to be going towards this field, and if Unvaccinated controls this field, then he's just eco-locking Rootbie out of the game, and he'll win. What a weird game. Very strange game. We're seeing Rootbie taking control of the bottom field instead, sending his harves down here. Okay. But this is so many tanks to deal with. Remember, it does still have his Conyard, so he can sell it if he wants to get a surplus of bikes or anything going. I don't think he's going to be expanding down towards the bottom or top again anytime soon. So with an idle MCV queue, he should really consider getting rid of it. Fixing his power situation first. You want to get these bikes set up. Get a hand and nod, you can, if you can afford it, and like a couple of flamers here. Or even just build the flamers and walk them up. Oof, Harv's being targeted here now by Unvaccinated with a whole bunch of Grens. Tanks here are going to get into the second strip, and Rootbie's gonna lose his second strip. Oh, Rootbie, man, what are you doing? This has been one of the weirdest Quarry games I've seen in quite a while. What an absolute mess from both players. Rootbie's unit compositions just absolutely screwed him, and Unvaccinated strategy of opening with like the 4 ref in the starting area and selling a single ref seemed to work for him somehow, even though it hugely delayed his crawl out towards here. He's now got like a kill count of nearly more than 100 units than Rootbie, who is now of course bringing out the GG Rocket Men. What a weird turn of events this game has been. But that's gonna do it. GG Unvaccinated, I guess. That's a fucking weird game. Really weird game. Did not expect that. GG's.